Tanya Barnett Show. It's the 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 Tanya. When we talk about real things, talk about life things. The 21st century woman gotta get right. Entrepreneurship, motherhood, marriage, divorce, dating, healthy living, and thriving, of course.
We discuss the unique challenges of the 21st century women. So buckle up and get ready, sister, to get your life right.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya.
Good evening, everybody. This is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I'm so super excited about tonight. You all know that it is Monday. It's Monday here in the D.C. area, and traffic was awful. So please pray for me because I'm still in my feelings about traffic. I'm also fighting a cold, so pray for me. I have a house full of family that are here. We're going to be caravanning to my mother's house for Thanksgiving, which I'm really excited about because I'm not cooking this year. Yay! The teenagers will be cooking Thanksgiving dinner, so I am so excited that I'll be able to rest. And I cannot wait to see my parents. It's been a minute since I've seen my parents, so I'm really excited about seeing my mom and my dad and having me and my two brothers together. So baby brother, if you are watching, make sure you show up. Show up, and you know we're going to start dinner on time. 3 o'clock, you know daddy eats dinner at 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving. So if you show up late, we already eating. Just letting you know. Y'all know y'all have those family members that always show up late. Baby brother is one of them. So I'm really excited about today. I have a special guest. I cannot wait to share her with you all. She is a sweet woman, sweet spirit, and just an all-around great person. And she will inspire you. She will get you motivated to go after your dreams. And that's what we do here on the Tanya Barnett Show. We talk about the unique challenges of the 21st century woman, as well as entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is near and dear to my heart. And I want to get you activated to go. I want to get you activated in your dreams. And talking about that, I have a vision board party coming up next month on December 9th right here in the Washington, D.C. area. It is Reclaiming My Time. And last year the tickets sold out. So make sure you go to bit.ly/reclaim 2018. I just had a phone call with Julian B. Kiganda and her sister Christine St. Ville, who was here last week in studio with me. So if you missed that, you need to go to my YouTube channel, Real Wife Movement, and catch that interview. It was a great interview. But however, they're going to be my guests. They're going to be my guests at the Vision Board Party. And I was told that they will be giving away a free 2018 planner. Those planners are the truth. I love my planner. I use my planner. And so if you show up, you will automatically, your name will be put into a drawing to get a free planner. Now, if you already purchased one, gift it to somebody. Because the Vision Board Party is December 9th. You got time to wrap it, send it, put it in the mail to somebody if you want to. But yeah, we have that. And then also Tracy Douglas of Tracy Nicole, who is a fashion consultant. She is giving away a free stylist consulting session for 2018. So she's going to help you jumpstart your lifestyle, your wardrobe for 2018. So I'm really super excited about those people who are sponsoring this event. So I'm really excited. I am Tanya Barnett. I'll be back right after this quick break here on the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. See you in a second.
Listen Vision, listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, listen Vision.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. You all know this is my favorite segment. I love my guests, but I also love this segment. This is my absolute favorite. And so today's segment on She's Gotta Have It is none other. My feature is Georgia Stitch. And actually, I am wearing Georgia Stitch right now. That is none other than fashion designer Tanya Kersey. And so I have on a blouse that she custom made for me. And I actually went here in the Maryland, D.C. area, got my measurements done, and sent them to Kenya, and she made this denim blouse for me. I love denim, and so she made this denim blouse for me. And I'm going to ask my engineer, Jacob, to maybe put some of her other fashion pieces up there on the screen for you to look at. And these are all custom made. That Georgia Stitch is the company, and Tanya Kersey is the designer. And she makes whatever you want. She will make it for you. Like I said, I'm here in Maryland. She's in New York, and she made this fantastic top for me. And so I'm really excited about being able to feature her on my She's Gotta Have It. So make sure you check her out. Her company is Georgia Stitch. She is on Instagram. And you can also go to her website, which is Georgia Stitch as well. And that is my She's Gotta Have It. So right back after this break, we will get going here on the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision. DC's #1 recording studio. Oh! Listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision. Listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision, listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I'm so super excited about my special guest. I actually had an opportunity to introduce her to you. I'm wearing one of her pieces, so I'm really excited about that. My special guest tonight, and you see her there on the screen, is none other than fashion designer Tanya Kersey. Hey lady. Okay, give me 1 second. Tanya?
Yes.
There you are. Okay. Awesome. Welcome. We had a few technical difficulties, but you know what? We keep it moving here on the Tanya Barnett Show. And that's what we as moms and wives do. We know how to navigate when things don't really work out the way we plan. We still make it work. So thank you so much for hanging in there and helping me stay a little patient through this whole technical difficulty. So how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really good.
Awesome. Well, I am thankful that you said yes to being a guest here on the Tanya Barnett Show. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I find this an honor that you even asked me to be a part of your show. I'm really excited.
Oh, thank you. And so I wanted to let you know that for the She's Gotta Have It segment, the denim blouse that you made for me was my She's Gotta Have It. So you're my actual business today for my She's Gotta Have It, my black business that I myself patronize, put my dollars back into the black community. And so I just wanted to let you know that you were my feature today for She's Gotta Have It.
Well, thank you for the support. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So let me start here. For those who don't know anything about Tanya Kersey, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Tanya Kersey, as Tanya has said, and I'm the owner of Georgia Stitch. I'm also the head designer, or the designer of Georgia Stitch Apparel. And Georgia Stitch basically makes clothing, custom-made clothing, and custom-made designs for women who want to stand out and look unique, and who also want to feel comfortable in their clothing.
Awesome. And so can you tell us how you got started?
Okay, well, I've always been passionate about fashion and, clothing at a very early age. I want to say like maybe 12. Mm-hmm. I remember just going into the sewing stores, the fabric stores, and just looking at patterns and just looking at fabrics like all day long. That's what I did in my free time after school, or any time I could get into a fabric store. So unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of encouragement from my family, so I kind of strayed off that path and went another direction. But what I found was, as I got older, that I still wanted to pursue a career in clothing and making clothing and designing clothing. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to go back to school to get a degree. And I started, I want to say around the age of 35, I started working for a couple of fashion companies. Okay. And then, after that, I want to say about I had 7 to 10 years experience working for fashion companies as a technical designer. And what a technical designer does, that's the person who just makes sure that everything is put together correctly, that it fits well on the client or the customers before we even ship it to the stores. So there I hone in on my creativity. I learned how to make a garment properly, so it looks well, and so it looks like you can go into a store and just pick it up. And then I guess after my children were born, after my children were born, I decided to leave the fashion industry and go out on my own so I can stay home with them.
Wow. And I just want to touch on something that you just said, Tanya. You said that at the age of 35. So I want to touch on that just a little bit for you to encourage women who feel like, okay, you know, I have this passion I've always had since I was a child or a teenager, and I never pursued it, and now I'm 40 or 45 or 50. And 35 is not, you know, that's not like 20 or 25. So can you just give a few words of encouragement right there to women who want to, say, start a business, but they feel like they're too old?
Well, first of all, just go for it. I mean, I guess for me, I just got frustrated working for someone else and doing something that I didn't love doing. And because of it, I just didn't do well in other industries. So you just have to kind of block out. And what I did was I blocked out all outside influences, any doubts, anyone who told me that I shouldn't do it.
Wow.
And I just went for it. And because my faith in God, and I know that God always has a plan and purpose for everyone, and knowing that, you know, him revealing my purpose for my life, it helped me to go forward as well. So I think you just have to really be in touch with your purpose and your plans for your life, and just kind of block out all the negativity, what society says you should be doing at a certain age. You know, I'm in my 40s, late 40s, and I should be getting higher, but, you know, according to society. However, you know, my passion won't allow me to do that.
Wow.
So you just have to go for it. Otherwise, I feel a person who doesn't go for their dreams will have some times where they're frustrated in life, you know, that they didn't do what it is that they wanted to do.
Wow, wow. And so you made a very pivotal key. You said that you blocked out those people who were not supportive. And so how do you feel like that affected you? Was that a hard thing to do, to say, you know what, you know, Desha and Jericho and y'all, I can't rocks with you right now because this is what I'm focusing on. Was that a hard decision for you to make, to start to block people out?
Very hard, very hard. And see, because I'm the type of person who I believe you should guard your dreams. So even if you say something that is just off to me, I'm just not going to be around you. And I might not come out and say, listen, I can't rock with you right now. The type of person I am, I'll just kind of back off from you and not call as much and not be around you. And it's not because I'm mad at you. It's because I understand that you don't understand what I want to do and that you don't see my vision. And I can't allow you to poison my thinking any further about how my life should be or where it should go, you know. And, you know, a lot of times when you're dealing with people who are not supposed to be entrepreneurs or who don't want to be entrepreneurs, they don't understand. They don't understand, oh, you quitting your job. Oh, and especially the fact that I'm quitting my job to take care of my kids and be a stay-at-home mom.
Wow.
And, you know, that, you know, especially in the Black community, it's like, oh, you looked at as being lazy, or you need to work, you need to get a good pension, you need, you know, so you can retire, you need health benefits, and all of these things were, you know, coming at me, basically from my outside influence. And I had to get to the point where I had to say, you know, I can't be around these people a lot. You know, I come around family functions, maybe we can go out for coffee once in a while, but I can't spend the majority of my time with people who are poisoning my dreams.
Wow, that is so key, and that's really what I had to do when I decided to walk away from a government job and stay home with my kids, to actually homeschool my children. And so for me, homeschooling my children was an important investment for me and my family. And so my husband was like, yo, you know, we're both disabled vets, so we'll go to the VA to get our health care. And if we got put the kids on state insurance, that's what we did. You know, there was no shame in our game. You know, we did what we had to do. And quitting my job was the best thing, because I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be interviewing you if it wasn't for making that decision for my life.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, sometimes it's scary. And the thing about it is, when I did quit my job, my husband was working as well. And I still say that, you know, and he had his benefits and he had his pension and he had that check every 2 weeks that was coming in direct deposit. So I still had a little cushion there.
Right.
But then when he left, it was like, okay, Lord, you got to make a way here. And so, you know, you still have, I'm home working from home. He's working from home. So it's still just a lot of things that we're brought up a certain way.
Right.
To, you know, that you kind of carry along with you. And you have to kind of just say, you know what, I got to do this. I can't continue to believe what society says that I should do.
Right.
To go, you know, in my life. So
wow, that is so key, because so many people are staying in jobs, stuck in jobs because of social norms, or, you know, because they know mama and them will have something to say. But at the end of the day, it really is about you, your dreams, and you and your husband are crushing it. Y'all are just like a superpower couple in New York.
Thank you.
I love everything the two of you are doing, and you are really setting a good example. You know, not only for your children, but for other couples as well, to show us that it can work. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work. So what drives you? What keeps you going on those days where you're like, Lord, I just don't know what these kids running around? Because you have two little boys. You know, what keeps you going?
Oh man, just the fact it's funny, because if I'm making something for someone and I'm designing something for someone, and the process is not always easy. But when they put it on, or when they put that garment on, and I see how happy they are, and I see the smiles on their faces and the compliments that they give me, and then I see the craftsmanship of my own hand, it just keeps me going to the next project. Because there's days where I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. Because, you know, it's not, you know, as a business owner, it's not, I'm a creative person, so it's not, I can't sit behind the sewing machine all day and create. I still have other things that I need to do, as well as take care of my family and my husband and myself. So it gets a little overwhelming, but because a satisfied customer just helps me to go the next level or go the next step.
Right. Wow. And that is so key. And I'm glad that you shared that there are some days where you just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I think sometimes when people look at entrepreneurs, they just see the glamorous stuff. They see what we post on Facebook, or they see, you know, someone wearing your garment or what have you. But they don't see those moments where, you know, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and you're banging your head because something isn't coming out just right, or what have you. And so I appreciate you being transparent and sharing that it's not an easy road.
No, it's not. It's not. And it's only by the grace of God that, you know, I'm able to push. And like I said before, it's just knowing your plan, God's plan for your life and your purpose for your life. You know, when you know that, you can keep going. Like, I know that God made me to create clothing.
Right.
I know He has gifted me in that area. And I don't apologize for that at all, because I know my gifts and I know where it lies. I mean, I know where, you know, my prosperity or my fortune is, and my enjoyment and my fulfillment is in. And, you know, when you know that, you're able to, you know, push ahead regardless of how you're feeling that day or feeling that year, or whether you receive rejection from someone or things don't always go the way you want them to go.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Kenya, I'm going to ask you to stay right there. We're going to come back to you right after this break here on the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey there, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. My special guest tonight is none other than fashion designer Tanya Kersey, and I'm actually wearing one of her pieces. Her company is Georgia Stitch. Tanya, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome, awesome. So let me ask you something. You talked about your honey. You talked about your babies. How do you find time for yourself?
Oh, wow. I just take it. I have to take it because I try to schedule it, and it just always seems like something gets in my way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding myself just, like, really just taking it. Like, okay, you know what? You've worked. You've been up 5:30. I have to say to myself, King, you've been up 5:30 in the morning. It's now 9 o'clock. You're still working. You know, go to bed. You know, and if it was up to me, I would stay up to 12, 1 o'clock. But then my body's like, body is like, no, you need to go to bed. And I take it. I can't, you know, I have to realize, like, okay, I need a break now. You know, otherwise I'll get burned out.
Mm-hmm. So. Wow. And you know, that is so important. I know for me, I've been, I felt, that little tickle in your throat on Friday, and you know, Saturday I was running around, and then yesterday I had to get into bed. I just was like, you know what? And I mean, I'm still feeling kind of funky and trying to nurse myself because we have to get on the road to go see my parents. But, you know, your body starts to break down when you don't take care of yourself. Because I'm just like you. I'm up at 5:30. I hit the gym at 6, those days that I make it. And then I'm off because I substitute teach, so then I'm at school all day, and then I come home, and then I'm on my computer, I'm answering emails, I'm, you know, working on a webinar, you know, whatever, and then before you know it, it is 11 o'clock at night, and then it's, you know, trying to get in bed, and your mind doesn't shut off because I'm always thinking of the next book or the next whatever. And so, taking care of ourselves is so important. And then segueing that into taking care of your honey. So how do you and your husband find time for each other?
Well, because he's home and I'm home, we both work from home, a lot of times we'll go out and have lunch dates.
Okay.
Most of the time we're intimate in the morning when the kids are off to school or whatever. So that's when we try to fit it. We fit in time when we can, when the boys are not when the boys are at school or when they're asleep. We have a supportive family who will watch them sometimes if we schedule and let them know in advance. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's how we find time with each other. And we sometimes we just chill and just talk, you know, watch TV. Maybe it's a program that we have. We'll just say, okay, honey, come watch TV. Let's watch this show together. Right. You know, let's watch this movie together. You know, we take breaks from each other because we understand that's so important for us to connect, you know, as much as possible. Right. Especially when you're so busy. So it's really important to connect and not forget about each other's needs and just be there for each other.
Absolutely. And that is so key. I know for Don and I, sometimes he'll wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, I'm not going in today. And then I'll be like, you know what, me either. And so, you know, we find time while the kids are away at school. And we have teenagers. So, or like if there's a day where they both have a late practice, then we'll say, hey, you know what, let's go get some appetizers and drinks while the kids are still at practice. And then we just go together and go pick them up from, you know, track or cheer practice or something like that. Right. So we do the same thing. We really try to make sure we steal away that time because it is busy. I think we only saw each other tonight maybe 5 minutes. He was taking my daughter to a cheer end of the year banquet, and then, you know, I was coming here to the studio. So it really is key that you find that time because it does get really busy. So I love the fact that you guys, you know, not only work together, but I'm sure even in being at home and you both working from home, you probably need some breaks also from each other.
Yes, definitely. I'm keeping it real, yes. Sometimes I'm like, listen, you know, we need some time away from each other, you know, because it's different. When he was working 9 to 5, he would come home and, you know, I would be happy to see him And not saying that I'm not happy to see him now, but,
Right.
you know, because we spend a lot of time together now, we do need space for one another, because we will get on each other's nerves. I'm keeping it real.
Right.
Keeping it real, you know. So, you know, so I mean, I know he knows my points of where I'm like, okay, let me back off a little bit. And I know where he needs some time for himself as well. So.
Awesome. Fantastic. So right after this break, I'm going to ask you a few more questions. And I want you to think about words of encouragement for women today who are just, you know, a little bit afraid to go for it. I know we talked about those who are older and want to go for their dreams, but those who are dealing with fear. So right here on the Tanya Barnett Show, after this break, we're going to bring back none other than designer Kenya Kersey. Stay right there.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Oh!
Hey there, everybody. This is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I have a very special guest tonight on the phone, none other than fashion designer Kenya Kersey. Thank you, Kenya, for hanging with me tonight.
No problem.
So I have a quick question for you before I ask about the fear one. What is one thing you wish you knew before you started your entrepreneurial journey? That one thing that if you knew this, it would have had a bigger impact on your journey.
Oh, wow. I guess the one thing I would say is that my time isn't my own. And what I mean by that, when I thought about going out and starting my own business, the first thing in my head was like, oh, I have time to do a lot of things. I have time to take care of the kids, clean the house, make clothing, and, you know, and that's the reality. That's not true, you know. And one thing I wish I would have known was how to manage my time a lot better than I did. Because, you know, as an entrepreneur and a mother and a wife, you juggle a lot of hats and a lot of responsibilities. And, you know, that's one thing I wish I would have. I mean, I guess when you work for a 9 to 5, you have those boundaries, but when you're working for yourself, you have to make boundaries.
Absolutely.
As far as your time.
Absolutely.
So I think that was the major thing I would have wanted to have.
Wow. And so how are you making sure that you keep those boundaries? I know you said that sometimes you have to tell yourself, hey, let's shut it down. I'm done for the night. But what are some other ways that you keep boundaries where you're not constantly working your business 24/7?
Well, I definitely have a schedule.
Okay.
And I realize that I have to get 8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not any good. You know, I try to get 4 hours, but I usually get up 6 the next morning or I can't function. So I realize that I do need that 8 hours of sleep. And then I block out the amount of time that I need to create. And, you know, I pretty much just schedule things. Then I have times where I know one day I just have to go shopping and run errands. So this is how I pretty much try to manage my time. And for me, I'm still a work in progress, and I have to practice it because, you know, sometimes sometimes I do get distracted. So, you know, I have my to-do list. I have 50 things on my to-do list, but I realize I only can do maybe 3 or 5.
Right.
And, you know, just basically monitoring my time and keeping a close eye on any little thing or every little minute that I have.
Wow. And that is so key. I know for me, even being home with my kids when I was homeschooling, when I did not have a schedule, I don't think we got to any work. You know, it was like, let me put a load of laundry in. Let me, take this laundry out. Let me do, let me start on dinner. Let me do meal prep. And
Yeah,
before you
right.
know it, it was noon and the kids are still watching, TV or whatever, So definitely having that schedule when you're an entrepreneur is so, so, so important.
Yes, it's
And
key.
then giving yourself some grace. Like you said, your list is 50, but you may only get to 5, and being okay with that and telling yourself, you know what, I can just push those things off until tomorrow. So I thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of times people don't understand that it takes a lot to keep the machine going. I mean, you
Right.
create beautiful pieces. Every time you post something on Instagram, like, I want that, So
Right.
you are
Right.
just doing a
Exactly.
fantastic job, not only inspiring me, but I've seen a lot of influencers wear your pieces, like Lucinda Cross. So many dynamic women are wearing your pieces. So that just tells me you just offer quality work. So kudos to you for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. So for I'm sure in your journey you've dealt with a little bit of fear, because you actually quit your job to become an entrepreneur. So can you share with women who may be watching how they can, I won't say overcome the fear 1,000%, because I think there's a level of fear every day when you step into your entrepreneurial journey. But can you give them one tip on how to manage the fear when they start to feel that?
Um. Hmm. Well, with me, when I decided to become an entrepreneur, I always tell people that I was kind of pushed off the cliff because of my children and because of their challenges that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have any time to really feel the fear until afterwards.
Okay.
So how I deal with it though, I just keep focused. Like I'm not distracted. I try to keep the distractions at a minimum. And what I mean by that is, like I said before, I guard my ear, I guard what I listen to, I guard what I read, what I view. I surround myself around people who support me and who are doing the same things that I'm doing, so I can get inspired and so I can get direction. This way, this will help me keep going and not, be so fearful of things or fearful of owning a business or running my own business, especially when you get around women or people who you see they have challenges as well. They have some of the same challenges you have, but they're able to overcome it. So I think having a good network, a good village that you're connected to,
Right.
that's very important as well. And, things of that nature. Just listening to videos, listening to motivational tape. One of my favorite speakers is Les Brown. I listen to him all the time in the morning. And TV Jakes, I listen to him in the morning, at least 20 minutes in the morning. And this helps me to, kind of change my thinking about what is actually going on, what the negative things that might be going on at the time, and focus on the positive things.
Wow. That is so key, having that motivation. I know for me, I look over my vision board daily. Like I have scripture on my vision board. I have empowering words on my vision board. Then also the things that I want to accomplish are on there. And so that kind of helps me when that fear. And then I do a lot of self-talk. I'm just like, look, girl, let's get this done. It ain't going to get done if you don't, make a move. And so I have these literal conversations with myself, whether I'm on the treadmill or I'm outside, running a couple of miles. I have to tell myself, yo, let's keep it going. Let's do this, So for me, self-talk and affirming myself really helps me push past. I mean, I was laying down before I came in today because I have a cold, and I just had to really dig deep and say, yo, somebody needs this show today, so really just pushing past that. The fear, the exhaustion, I don't want to do this anymore. But knowing, like you said, your purpose is tied to exactly what you're doing, because once you get started, then you feel good. And I think a lot of times, you know, just negative influences, like you said, you try to remove those or eliminate those as much as possible. I think it's just really important for women to understand that. And what you're watching, you know, if you're watching and listening to people and things that are negative, you know, you start to internalize that, and then self-doubt happens. And then you do the opposite talk, like, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Do I have enough education? I don't have the money. Now isn't the time, you know, all those things that start to happen. And it's like, to me, what I always say, no time is going to be perfect. So you might as well just go for it.
Right. And then, you know, also too, like when you look at, like you were saying about the things that you look at, sometimes you compare yourself with other people, and you're like, oh my goodness, oh, look how far they've gone. And we start at the same time. But you have to realize that your path is different, your journey is different, and you can't look at other people and see what they're doing, because their path is, they're not going the same way you're going. You know, and you don't know what they had to do to get there as well, you know. So, you know, a lot of times that's why I say you should watch what you look at on TV, or who you're around, because you don't want to get into that point. And let's be real, when you watch TV, a lot of that's Hollywood. All of this, you know, that's not realistic, realistic, or how things really go on in the world. So when you're sitting here, you're like, oh, they have the Benzes, they got the nice houses, they have the nice clothing. But what did they do to get there? And just because they got that doesn't mean you won't have it. You just might have to go a different way. You might have to work a little harder. You know, and that's fine. You know, as long as you keep your eyes on your vision and your purpose in your life and your goals in your life, that's fine if you have to work a little harder. But never compare yourself with others, because you know, that you'll just be stuck, you know.
And you know, social media is really big on, you know, people comparing yourself and seeing where people are and assuming that you should be there and things of that nature. And so I just think it's, you know, it's important. I know for me, for a while, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I need to put this on my website. Maybe I need to do this on my website. And, you know, all these things that I'm thinking I had to do. And it's like, no, just because so-and-so does that doesn't mean that you have to do that. And so I really had to get clear about not saying, okay, well, maybe I should add this, or maybe I should do this, and in 2 months I need to, and I just had to take a step back, pause, and say, okay, that, like you said, that is her journey, that is his journey, this is mine. And so I just think that's really important for people to understand that you know, the comparison is a dream killer. It really will have you shutting down your company and going back to work, and, you know, and doing something that you hate to do, because you're comparing yourself to other people. So we're going to take a really quick break, and then after this break, we're going to find out how people can get in contact with you and get a custom piece or two here on the Tanya Barnett Show. Stay right there.
Okay.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey there, everybody. This is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I'm super excited about my special guest tonight, none other than fashion designer Kenya Kersey. Welcome back.
Hi, Tanya.
Well, I just want to tell you that I am so I'm thankful that you decided to say yes to being my guest today. I know I had an awesome opportunity to meet you last year in September. And so just watching you and then now being able to have you as a sister friend, entrepreneur, sister, you know, it just really, I am honored to have you in my life. And so I just really want to just, you know, publicly thank you for being on my show tonight.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and thanks for having me. You inspire me a great deal, Tanya. You're a really awesome person and a good person to know. So I thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. And again, if you're watching, if you're just now jumping on and you did not catch She's Gotta Have It earlier at the beginning of my show, I always at the beginning. So make sure if you just now jumping on, go back to the beginning, hit rewind. The piece that I have on today, the blouse that I have on, is by none other than my special guest tonight, Kenya Kersey of Georgia Stitch. This is a denim blouse. I love denim, love everything denim. And she actually lives in a whole nother state. I went and got my measurements done at a bridal store. So bridal stores will do your measurements. Got my measurements done, emailed them to her, and she created this beautiful denim blouse for me. It's peplum. I love peplum, and as you can see her picture up on the screen, she has a peplum dress on, and so she just does magnificent pieces. And so, Kenya, if someone is interested in working with you, how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, sure. They can log on to www.georgiastitch.com, and they can send me a request via email, contact@georgiastitch.com, and I'll get back to them as soon as possible and just let me know, what it is that they want made.
Awesome.
I'm also on Instagram and Facebook as well if they want to reach out.
Okay, so she's on Instagram and Facebook at Georgia Stitch. And what type of pieces, I'm going to have my engineer put some of the pictures up, but what type of pieces can women get from you?
Well, they can get my designs, my own designs, or they can have something created that they like.
Okay.
And anything, mostly dresses with bows, big sleeves, peplums. That's my thing. That's my signature. Anything girly, I'm the one that you should contact because that's my signature as far as making clothing. And I pretty much can make anything that anyone wants. I specialize, though, in mostly professional wear. However, I can make evening gowns as well as sportswear and coats, outerwear, or anything anything like that. So, yeah, pretty much. I love to design, though. So if you want me to design something unique for you, I'm definitely the one to contact.
Awesome. Well, I, again, thank you so much, Kenya, for taking the time out because I know you have those babies and, honey and all that. And so thank you so very much for, spending this evening with us here on the Tanya Barnett Show. And Kenya is actually going to be in my book that is coming out really soon. I'm going to be dropping that probably in the next couple of months. But I'm really excited that she also is going to be a part of my brand new book, Today's History Makers. So, so I'm so excited about this project. Today I actually got the full cover back. So we are marching along. It will be a coffee table book, full color from front to back inside. And there's over 40 African-American female entrepreneurs in this book, and Kenya is one of them. So thank you again, Kenya, for being a part of my journey. You all make me who I am, and the Tanya Barnett Show is because of all of you women. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tanya.
All right, have a good night. After this break, I'm going to tell you all where you can catch me next, and I have some exciting news for you here on the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I'm so super excited because I just launched the book on Tuesday. And because of all of you who have purchased that book became an Amazon bestseller. So thank you so much. It's called You Need It, I Got It. It was a collaboration with 15 other authors. And so I actually made the top 10 in 5 different categories on Amazon. So thank you so very much. Now I can add Amazon bestseller to my title. And I know my new book that's coming out in Black History Month is called Today's History Makers. It is going to be another bestseller. So thank you all again, everyone who purchased that book. Make sure you leave me a review so I'll know what your thoughts are on the book. Reviews mean a lot to me because it lets me know whether you think my book is trash or you think it's good. So thank you so much again for purchasing that book, and have a fantastic holiday. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Get a designated driver, or now you can Uber or Lyft. So no excuses for drinking and driving. And I will see you all next week here on the Tanya Barnett Show. See you later.
It's the Tanya Barnett